How you doing? I hope all is well. I haven't been on in a while. It's been a crazy start to this new year, but I really hope you're all well. I just wanted to pop on real quick and, of course, share something, of course, about love, my favorite subject. Just something that happened today that really kind of got me thinking about love, and God is love. And it made me think about his character and how he is, and what we learn from him about love. I've been very happy in recent, maybe the past several years, just getting me back after some relationships in my life that didn't work out. And I think one even in particular where I was able really just to kind of let go and forgive. And in the process of letting go, I think for me too, it's like, I don't hold any ill will, but at the same time, it kind of helps me to move on by just like not thinking about the person, and so it's like when I walk away, it's like I walk away completely. I forgive you, but I ain't thinking about you. You know what I mean? Like, you're now somebody else's issue. It's kind of how I see it, which is a terrible attitude. I know, but it just kind of helps me to move on a bit. But today, the funny thing is that I was challenged by love today. I was challenged by God today, and love had asked me in my spirit to pray for somebody who I don't even think about anymore. And frankly, I kind of don't want to. And not all my memories of this person was good. Even though I forgave them, I don't even really care to, think about that person, let alone like pray for them, right? It's that attitude, like I said, had erupted in me that that's somebody else's problem. Let somebody else pray for him. Let somebody else love on this person. I don't really care to do it. And I didn't even really realize that I was holding that kind of attitude until I was challenged to actually pray for that person. And so I was like, oh my God, I guess, I had forgiven, but I guess I just, don't want to be bothered, and had just kind of had held this little bad attitude, towards this person. Like, I don't even want to think about you. I don't want to pray for you. Yes, I don't mean you or wish you any ill will, but let somebody else, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of times when we have people in our lives who challenge us, or who, don't treat us well, leave us with scars, wound us in some way, that moving on does kind of, if it doesn't include demonizing the person, which is so easy for us to do, right? We're not in a place of forgiveness and we just want to make them out to be the worst person in the world, to justify the extent or to express the scope of the pain we experience with that person. Sometimes that's what we do. But I had actually forgiven this person. I don't hold any ill will towards that person, nothing, I'm glad I was finally able to move on, for heaven's sake. It was the first time I'd ever been in love. And so, to be able to finally forgive and move forward in my life, oh, the freedom of it all, especially because you linger so long in the pain after the loss of it. So I've just been so happy, but being challenged, just being asked by love today to pray for that person. I was like, somebody else to pray for that person. I don't even want to think about that person. Like, I'm done. I was just feeling so done and so free, but then just being asked kind of brought that up. And then it made me think about how we hold people in our hearts when they no longer serve our purpose, or serve a purpose in our life, right? They're no longer that person in our life, or they're no longer a friend, or they betrayed you and they're no longer, whatever the relationship was, they're no longer that person in your life. And, or even, if they just offended you in some way, or, it just could be anything that had broken the relationship. We have a lot of what made me think of as throwaway people in our life. Or sometimes we just give up on people. Sometimes we just get tired of loving on some folks. I know very recently I've been like, okay, God, okay, love, get me out of relationship with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because I'm done. I've known, these particular people for a long time, and I'm over it. I'm done. Like, nothing with them changes, and I'm done trying to love on these people, And so it just brought up all of that kind of in my heart today. And I was really challenged by love today, not just in asking me that question to pray for that person, but also this kind of, even in asking love to get me away from these people that I'm just tired of. I'm sick and tired of them. I'm done. We can just be done with people sometimes. We could just be like, I can't do you no more. I mean, I just cannot do you. I've done everything I can to try to love you, to be there for you, to be, whatever it is that you needed. You're either never satisfied or I'm just done. Nothing ever changes with you. I am finished. There is a lot of throwaway people in this world. And the reality is that God is love, and God loves everybody. Everybody. He created everybody. Love loves everybody. And the people that we are throwing away, the people that we've just had it with, we're done, we're finished, like whatever, they're somebody else's problem. He gathers up to himself and collects all these throwaway people, and he loves them. And I was just thinking about, if I really want to love like love, God is love, then I have to begin to throw away that attitude of throwing people away, and giving up on people, and really search within myself to find a way to continue to love them, to continue to pursue them with love. Because that's what God does for us. That's what God is love. That's what he does. Every person who's ever been rejected, every person who is out there who feels like nobody cares about them and nobody loves them, everybody who feels like they've got no person in this world to turn to, everybody out there who's burned every bridge in their life because of their habits, addictions, behaviors, whatever, and people have given up on you. You know what that feels like. Because the reality is, I throw these people away in my attitude and in my, I'm sick of you and I'm sick of this and I'm done and I'm tired and, and I could throw them away. But the truth is that I am also somebody's throwaway person. There have been people that I've tried to hold on to who threw me away. And if I didn't have love to catch and capture me, I wouldn't have had what I needed in my life. I wouldn't have known love at all, frankly. And heaven knows where I'd be if I didn't come to know God, if I didn't come to know love. I don't even want to think about it. That's what he does. That's what God does. That's what love does. Love always reaches out. Love always pursues. I was also thinking kind of recently, it's a little bit connected. I was also thinking recently about justice and about how when we seek justice, it's really just to kind of balance the scales. Like there's a real difference between justice and punishment. And when somebody does something wrong to us, we seek justice. But we don't really seek real justice. We seek punishment. We want the person to punish. We want somebody to pay, right, for what has been done to us. And the thing with God is, it says in the Word, it says in the Bible, it says God, he is a God who loves justice. And for me, one of the hardest things to understand is like, okay, so if you're this loving God and you love justice, then how come so many people getting away with some crazy business in this world that it just makes no sense whatsoever? Like how come people are getting away with murder? How come people are getting away with hurting other people, or even people who claim to know you, who claim to be yours? How come they seem to be getting away with treating people like crap? And there seems to be no consequence for them whatsoever. What we're looking for when we have this attitude, okay, if you're God, if you're this great loving God, how come this is happening? We're seeking for people to be punished for what they're doing. But see, the beautiful thing about love is free will and freedom and free choice, right? Okay, so you have to have that in order for it to be love at all. Because if you don't, okay, I'm getting off track, and I'm gonna have to edit this because I'm like, wait, why am I even talking about this? I'm like getting off into a whole nother subject. I might have to edit that out. Bottom line is, is that love pursues, and it keeps no record of wrong. So there are no throwaway people to God. No one is a throwaway to God. No one is condemned to God. He made a way for all of us to be taken back on to himself through his son, Jesus. He made a way for us to be back in relationship with him, and for us to be accepted. There are no throwaway people, and it's like we don't have to do it ourselves. There's nothing we have to do to be right in the eyes of God except receive what he did for us. With love, redemption is justice. And I guess that's maybe why I was talking about both of them. I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but I guess the two are connected because when you think about throwaway people, we throw away people who do things wrong. It's all about good and bad, right and wrong, pain and pleasure. And those who cause us pain, we want to toss them away and throw them away. Well, I tell you, love collects them all. There is no throwaway people with love. And if God loves on that level, if he can love people on that level, and God is on the inside of us, then what's our excuse?